Most business owners sprint through December and stumble into January. Yeah, they hit the ground running, but not quite in the right direction. Here's how to flip the script. Here's how you actually start your year ahead instead of behind. Year end hits like a freight train. Final sales, client deliverables, holiday parties, team chaos. You're just trying to get to the finish line without dropping anything. But here's what most people miss. If you don't pause and reset now, you're walking into January already behind. Reactive, scattered, playing catch up from day one. And I see this all the time. Business owners hit January 2nd exhausted with no clear plan, no team alignment, and a growing to do list that feels impossible. It doesn't have to be that way. Today, I'm walking you through 5 strategic moves to close out the year with real clarity and step into January strong. These aren't nice to haves, they're not fluff, they're foundational. Let's dive in. First up, review the business. This is your chance to stop the treadmill, step back, and look at the full picture. And ask yourself, what actually drove results this year? What slowed us down, and where did I get stuck? Here's the thing. Most owners skip this completely and they jump into goal setting. New year, new goals, right? But that's like building your strategy on sand. You can't build a solid plan if you don't know what worked and what didn't. I worked with this one business, we'll call them the Overdrive Company. They never stopped to reflect. They loved the adrenaline rush, and they loved always being in crisis mode. Project after project, priority after priority, just piled one on top of the other. Every year end was a mad dash to some imaginary finish line that felt like it kept moving. The new year was always on the back burner. Goals didn't get set until March. Budgets, same thing. Priorities, well, they were unclear until Q2 hit. Everyone felt constantly behind, burnt out, unappreciated, like they were running on a hamster wheel that never stopped. When you skip the review, you miss the lessons. You repeat the same mistakes. You build next year's plan on last year's chaos. Take the time now to look back before you plan ahead. Second, evaluate your team. Your team is either your growth engine or your biggest bottleneck. The question is, which one is it right now? Look, this isn't about sitting down for formal performance reviews and handing out ratings. It's about knowing where your team actually needs you as their leader. Who's thriving? Who's maxed out? Who's quietly struggling? Where are the friction points slowing everyone down? One business owner, let's call her Naomi, once added people just to ease the load. She thought more hands meant less pressure, but without clear roles or real support, it just created more chaos, more questions, more decisions coming back to her. The breakthrough came when she got clear on her structure, when she stopped just adding bodies and started building real support around her top talent. That's when things shifted. When you evaluate with intention, you prevent burnout. You position your team for what's coming next. It isn't about judging performance, it's about seeing clearly where the gaps are and what your team needs from you to succeed. Third, now this is where you get to plan your priorities. Here's the real talk. Most business owners aren't setting too many goals. Honestly, they're probably not setting goals at all. It's not that they don't care, it's that they don't believe goals actually drive results. Or if they set them in the past and nothing really changed, so they stop bothering. What often happens is this: they've got these ideas in their head, but they don't take time to write them down, to share them with their team, or to track progress. And that creates a silent kind of chaos because the business is moving, but with no clear direction. That's why the most effective leaders that I've worked with do one thing consistently. They pick a small number of strategic priorities. They write them down and they make sure that their team knows exactly how to contribute. One business owner I worked with takes time every 90 days to reflect, plan, and align. She doesn't set 20 goals. She picks 1 or 2 that really matter. Then she breaks them into small milestones and she tracks them weekly. Everyone's clear, and when plans shift, they pivot fast without losing momentum. The key isn't setting fewer goals, it's actually setting the right goals and making them visible, because clarity creates traction. When your team knows what matters most, they execute with focus and you see real progress. If you want help building your Q1 priorities, I walk you through the whole process in my playlist, 5 Strategic Steps for a Strong Year. The link is in the description. Fourth, hardwire the important things. Here's truth. What gets scheduled gets sustained, period. This is where you lock in the structure your business needs to grow. I'm talking CEO days, quarterly planning time, weekly check-ins. Don't wait until January chaos hits to figure this out. Build that rhythm now while you still have the space to think clearly. Here's what I see all the time. Business owners know they need strategic time. They know their team needs regular touch points, but it never makes it to the calendar. And if it's not on the calendar, it just doesn't happen. That business I mentioned earlier, the one that consistently hits big goals, their planning isn't reactive. It's rhythmic, it's hardwired. Their team knows the big picture, they know how their role fits in, they're part of the profit sharing, and feel invested in the outcome. That level of clarity isn't luck, it's leadership. When you hardwire the important stuff, your strategic time, your team rhythms, your space to reflect and celebrate, you stop running on adrenaline and you start leading with intention. That's when your business starts working for you instead of relying on you to do all the work. Fifth, celebrate. If you want a team that performs at a high level, you have to acknowledge progress, not just outcomes. Remember Overdrive Company? They never paused to say thank you. No recognition, no reflection, just on to the next crisis, the next fire, and the next deadline. And their team felt it, burnt out, unseen, unsure if their work even mattered. Now contrast that with the intentional company I mentioned. They celebrate consistently, not just the big wins, but the milestones, the effort, the growth along the way. And the result is higher retention, better morale, a team that knows their work is seen, valued, and connected to something bigger. Recognition isn't fluff, it's leadership. The teams that feel appreciated, they stay, they grow, and they give their best. So don't skip this step. It matters more than most business owners realize. Okay, here's the good news. You don't need a 3-day offsite retreat or some elaborate planning process to make this happen. You need one focused day, one CEO day to step back, reflect, recalibrate, and walk into January with real clarity. Here's your next move. Block one CEO day before year end. Put it on your calendar right now and use it to walk through these 5 steps. Review your business, evaluate your team, plan your priorities, hardwire your rhythms, and celebrate progress. Don't overthink it, just schedule it and show up. And if you want help reclaiming your time and building a business that actually works for you, not because of you, download my free 40-hour Freedom Fast Track. It'll help you see exactly where your time is going and how to take it back. The link's in the description below. Before you go, which of these 5 are you tackling first? Drop it in the comments. I love to hear from you. And if this was helpful, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I share strategies every single week to help you lead your business like a true CEO. Let's step into January strong and let's do this differently this time. That's all for now. See you next time.